Hello, the Mature Simmer here. So, early autumn on the server, as you can see, year 71. And what I thought I was doing today is not what I'm going to be doing at all. So as you can see, I've got herbicide, or my sprayer, attached with herbicide. And I'm over here near my tobacco field and cotton field. And they're actually ready to harvest, as you can see on the map. But my coffee, which was planted a day before, is still in the growing stage. So I was planning on coming in here and applying herbicide and thinking the coffee would be ready to harvest, and instead we've got to do something else. So we're going to go ahead and start harvesting this cotton and tobacco. See you in a second. Okay, so here we are ready to begin the harvest. Not quite sure exactly how I'm going to do this, but I think I'm going to begin. Not sure, is it harvesting? I might, oh that's right, I need to open it up. Alright, let me open up my menu, because clearly I don't know. Alright, well in theory that should do it. I don't understand. Oh, there we go. I guess it just wasn't doing it to start out with, but alright, so our tobacco is coming off the field, and having done this as a contractor for others, I certainly know this is a long job, even on a field that's not terribly large like this, because as you can see there isn't a huge working with. And obviously this first pass is going to be even more interesting because I'm getting only half the row. I have no idea what my yield is going to be as far as how many bales, but in case you don't remember, I'm starting with the tobacco field because my bale stores are going to go ahead and they exist down here on this field. So I want to have a clear shot to be able to put the bales away as early as possible, so that if I switch over I can do that. So if I started with cotton, I'd almost have no choice but at least to get a good portion of tobacco harvested down in an area to clear it out. But what I'm hoping I can do here is just literally go across the field, since this is a very small piece of equipment compared to other things, and that I can just keep going east-west here and be done. But wow, you know, this was a partial row, and I'm already at 20% with just one pass, so it almost looks like 3 or 4 times across this field will fill me up, and I'll have to empty my bale. So I may get a lot more off these fields than I was expecting. With the yield that they had, I was thinking maybe I would get 10 bales in total, but I don't know why I was thinking that. It was just a random guess, but maybe that will be right. I don't know, because obviously this field does taper down as it heads south, so it's possible that obviously I'm going to need more rows harvested to fill up. So, but but it's looking like it'll be 20,000 liters for a bale of tobacco. So we'll see. That also seems higher than what I recall, but who am I to question what is happening? So we'll see you at the end. So we're finished with the tobacco. I'm going to go ahead and start on the cotton. I'm assuming I must have, yeah, I turned off the harvester now that I think about it, because I think that's the only way to get rid of the unfinished bale. So I'm going to go ahead and run a few passes here because the ditch and the poles right there, I don't know that I have enough space to clear it out, so I want to make sure that I'm comfortable going. I'm really disappointed with how this field planted, and I don't know why. I did have some of the other FMs on the server look at it, and yeah, they they were like, it looks like, you know, in real life you'd say your planter was defective or blocked up or something, but that's not something any of us have ever seen in Farming Simulator, so just really don't know what happened, because certainly with seasons and things there's germination failure that can happen, but nothing like that. So, but either way, obviously we can only deal with what we've got, and that's what we've got. So, but yeah, my intent will be also partially because of this. You know, I've got to a ditch and a short end on this side. I'm gonna head north-south on this field, as you can kind of see from where I've tried to line things up. Which is why I just want to make sure I have enough space to turn so that it's not just trying to drive this manually without any lines, obviously, and doing the best I can. But no, I think 2 passes will work, and then we'll just head north-south because this field's certainly longer than that, and we'll get it done from there. See you at the end. So we're on the last pass here on the field, just finishing up the cotton. Definitely the yield was significantly impacted by whatever happened in the crop planting here, so I'm sure you guys noticed. Didn't get a lot of bales. I don't know, as I said, I've never really paid attention to these crops much because I've never grown them myself, so I don't know if the yield is normally significantly different, but I think I have, I might have up to 10 bales on the tobacco field, which I think is actually a slightly smaller field too, and I think I may just have 5 and then this partial here on this field, so I don't know how much of that is difference in yield between the crop and how much is that I just really lost that much. So let's empty this. It's only a partial bale, so it's small enough. It's still rendered. Well, no, I guess it's got a little bit of a hunk on the side missing, I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I know it normally can do that, so we'll turn off the harvester, and then I've got to go get the bale trailer. So we'll just go ahead and jump to that because I know this has already gotten quite long. So just about finishing up with the tobacco bales here. I think I've grabbed 8. But definitely more of these than there are the cotton bales. I was surprised. I'm going to check the field one more time before I head off for sure, because I thought I had more than 4 bales, but I pulled 4 bales off that field, if you noticed, and well, and again, maybe you didn't notice, because as I'm recording this, I don't know if I decided to jump cut or not, because it's all going to depend on how long the video was getting with everything we had, even with time lapses and so forth. So, but I wanted to catch the tail end here, because the other thing we're going to need to decide is, are we going to sell these? I was talking to another FM who's on the server right now, because we can grab bale contracts from each other, So if he's on, which he likely will be because he's harvesting his oats, so he's kind of in that, you know, hours and hours harvest that I have been pretty much any time you harvest, regardless. But, you know, when I do the coffee, we'll be in the same thing where it'll take a while. So you'll notice the bales just kind of vanish. They get put away, but you still have to go through the key press to empty it, because you can see it says I have 2 square bales in the trailer, even though they already got sucked into the storage, so it doesn't actually reset. So I'm not sure. I haven't, again, done this particular job on single player, so I'm not sure if that's if that happens in normal things, or if it's because of the mods with the bale sheds we've got, or what it is that causes that to happen. But either way, that's how it works. So alright, we've got one behind us, one ahead. We'll just go get this one up ahead. And that one in the corner then may be it, or we might have others. It's just a bit of the challenge of trying to figure out what's really present on the fields. It's certainly better. I've done this in the dead of night for some people, which is really fun, especially with like tobacco bales that are dark. So the cotton bales are, you know, obviously white. You can still see them in the dark a little bit, but you go around a field in the middle of the night looking for tobacco bales, it gets a little bit entertaining. So let's see where we end up. So yeah, he's asking the question, because I did tell him, oh, are you going to be around? I'm likely going to want to sell the bales, because I'm really less concerned about price on these at this point. I just was thinking I would sell them, but given that I have 4 bales, it's because to sell them I have to get rid of the bale store. So and not that the bale stores are that expensive. If I recall, I think they're exactly the same as the straw bale stores, where they're $150. So I'm certainly going to make more than that on the sale of the bale, but it just somewhat seems like a waste. So I'm almost, I may or may not sell. I'll have to see. Alright, so let's run this field real quick. Obviously we just came from the bale over on the side, so we know we're okay there. Yeah, I don't see anything here. This could be semi-interesting if I do find a cotton bale, because I will try to pick it up. I've never done that either, where I've mixed bale types. In theory, it should be okay, because obviously it knows what type of bale it is, and the bale store should just grab the one it can and leave the other one on the trailer. But yeah, I'm thinking I may be done. And it did, I freaked out a little bit when I pulled into this field, because obviously the truck is destroying the crop, and of course my automatic reaction is, oh my god, I'm running down crop, I'm costing myself money. But obviously that wasn't the case here, so I think that might actually be it. So I knew we didn't get many, because I got a good, you know, quarter of this field done before I even got the first bale on cotton, but somehow I thought I had 6. I didn't realize I just had 4, so anyway, we'll put this over here. Oh, it did. Let's see, I'm assuming that will empty it, but maybe not. Let's see what it does if it goes to 0. Okay. Alright, so we've got 4 bales. I've not sold these before, so again, there's some partials, so there's not a full 20,000 liters. You know, just like here with 13 bales, I should have 260,000 liters, but I obviously don't, so I'm not sure if the sale on these will be liters or not. So let's go take a look here of what we see for the sales, and I'll make that decision. So I've got square bales. Let's see if I have 4 bales. So yeah, it looks like we sell by bales, so we do get a little bit extra. You know, likely because they just don't want to go through working that out. So wow, we'd get 100,000 from just those 4 bales. It is tempting, because obviously, yes, I'll lose a cotton store, but alright, in this case, let's see how the tobacco goes. Okay, so those are cheaper. So yeah, so the cotton bales certainly make a lot more, but yeah, I'd have a $250,000 payday just off of those couple fields. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and sell these. So we finalize and sell. And I'm going to select these, go ahead and head to the confirmation page, finalize and sell. So just so you can see what happens. So now it will create some export contracts, and there shouldn't be too many out here. I could be wrong. I mean, it's still populating them. Wow, a lot more than I thought. So, so there we go. So we've got our 13 tobacco bales and our 4 cotton bales. So I'm going to pop back over to the server. So yeah, he needs to grab the contracts off the contract exchange, and you can only do one at a time. And then there is a waiting period of 10 minutes for the contracts before you can complete them. So, you know, he will have a delay there where he'll basically, he can verify these and I can get rid of them, because at this point I'm basically done. But he'll have to grab the contract and then grab the other one and complete it. And once those are completed, that will give me that money into the web money account there. So I'll suddenly go from having $170 that I had to having, you know, $260,170. Obviously, it's not exactly that, because it's not a perfect amount either, but yeah, what I'll end up doing is replacing these so that we have storage for future crops, but that will get things done. So once he gets here, we'll continue. So now I need to go ahead and sell these. So basically I go to the garage and I find those stores and we remove them. And that is our process. So I go ahead and sell. Yes. And then I go ahead and sell. Yes. And we'll come back and they're gone. So there you go. All right. So I'm going to jump in my truck and get it back to my farm. And then I will place those bale stores back. Nothing you guys really need to see. I'm sure this video is already long enough. But we've at least finally gotten our tobacco and cotton harvest, so not too bad. You know, we lost the 50,000 last year for all the supplies to some degree, but obviously some of those were seeds and things, but you know, we at least got to harvest. So you know, in the end, really, we probably just duplicated the seeds, so I'd have to go back and really figure out exactly what it really cost me, but that's why I have the spreadsheet, because you know, now at least we recoup the cost of the fertilizer, so, and the you know, lime and all that. So we put, you know, basically I think 52,000 into the fields, made about 260,000, so we netted about 200,000 in profit. All said and done is probably where we're at. So thanks for joining me here early autumn. I'm hoping the coffee will show up tomorrow, because I'd really prefer not to potentially have to do it all in one day. Although today is Friday, so it will be Saturday, but I would prefer to not have to do it all at once, because coffee is high yielding, so it's going to take a little bit longer than when we did our canola earlier, because we're going to have to run trucks a lot more. So I will see you next time.